You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle? I suppose few enough can. Not exactly a common affliction. You have a familiar twinkle in your touch. You're a wizard, aren't you? You do have a bit of a glassy look in your eye to be an apprentice. Would you consider yourself particularly well read? The aid of someone learned would be of great use to me. The limited time for reading that undergoing ceramorphosis leaves pains me so. Mistress Elbow! We truly are doomed. My apologies. Don't get your robes in a ruffle. Oh, don't compare yourself to Kelban. He wastes far too much of his time dying. You and I both know the aid a powerful sage could bring us. If you meet any elder wizards, let me know. There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master. Oh. My, you startled me. I was miles away. For the seldom purpose of prayer. She does. She's Mistra. I can't quite describe it. The need I sometimes feel to see her. To draw the filaments of fantasy into existence. No sculpture or painting could ever do her justice. Only the fabric that she herself is and embodies. The weave. Mistra is all magic. As far as I'm concerned, she is all creation. I see you understand. Magic is my life. I've been in touch with the weave for as long as I can remember. There's nothing like it. It's like music, poetry, physical beauty, all rolled into one and given expression through the senses. Is it the same for you? Perhaps we can share the experience by reaching into the weave together. Perhaps I can show you what I mean by reaching into the weave together. You wouldn't say that if you felt what I feel. Perhaps I can show you what I mean by reaching into the weave together. Then follow my lead. Now you.
A familiar feeling, like a kind word and a kind touch at the same time. It's warm and comfortable.
Excellent. Now, repeat after me. Athran mistraril kantrak eo.
Ah, yes. The scent of rosewater and a sense of well-being. A sliver of weave that tastes sweet on the tongue.
Very good. Now, I want you to picture in your mind the concept of harmony, as true as you can.
You see, or is it sense, the unmistakable presence of Mystra, the Lady of Mysteries.
Look at that. We're channeling the weave. How does it feel? You're hard to please, aren't you? How can I help? I've had a pupil or two, but never for very long. Their ineptitudes tend to irk me. You do seem to be a precocious talent, though. I can always tell when I meet a keen mind, receptive to Mystra. Keep it up, and she might just take a personal interest in you one of these days. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. And from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse. And later, even my lover. It's fair to say her intimacy is not easily won. Nevertheless, I did. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross, yet every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. Perhaps. But enticements beyond the perimeters of mortality are powerful motivators. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? I don't discredit my reasoning. Alas, that my execution was rather less sound. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf. Endure an hour's worth of exposition to my presence, and you may well come to consider a different sort of honorific with which to chronicle the occasion. But until then, your sentiment is well received. Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name. Drank naught but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it? Alas, such luxuries require the beneficence of time. And time, as I'm sure our friend here will attest, is the very luxury of which we're all too bereft. Mystra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help, or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
Glad it's not just me. An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days. Brave or stupid. I've proved myself the latter too many times where she's concerned. For Mistra to have sent him. The severity of her bidding could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me.
I've never seen such a concentration of shadow magic. We must forge on, but carefully. It will corrupt any who lack the power to control it.
Oh, of course. Oh, sometimes I forget who I'm traveling with. It takes some getting used to, walking amongst peers again. The very same. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. Quite so. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her.
Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
The keen gleam in Moll's eyes reveals the lie. She knows the game well, and she wants to win.
I see that glint in your eyes. You've a strategy in mind. The same one as me, I'd wager. Exactly what I was about to suggest.
My, the Thescan double counter gambit. Vicious. Exactly what I would have done.
Carved into the bench's rotten surface is some kind of ritual circle, its sigils half faded. Darkness and decay hangs in the air around it.
A ritual circle. And a complex one at that. I've seen such a construction before in the writings of the Weave Pasha Raven, though his vision was not so tainted. Well, it wasn't in his published archives, it was merely a sketch. He invoked Mistra's guidance on how to complete it. It was quite a fascinating design, though the version created here is a strange corruption of the Weave Pasha's original intent. It's been mostly drained, but even now contains a powerful dose of Shadow Weave. Did you feel that? If I wasn't surrounded on all sides by the darkness of the Shadow Cursed lands, I'd think it was Mistra herself brushing against my skin. Not weak, but subtle. Mistra knows it is a risk to make herself known here, however briefly. After all, this cursed place is not hers, but Shah's. If Mistra were here, I don't think she'd be best pleased with me for doing that. She was always rather fond of pixies. Still, I'm sensing no signs of any divine retribution incoming. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. True enough. She'd certainly not want to jeopardize the completion of this little mission she and Elminster have concocted. It may not be the most savory kind of magic, but it will taste sweet enough if it brings us to the heart of the Absolute in one piece. Then thank goodness I have you to keep me in check. Now come. Best keep moving. We have many more shadows to face before we reach the heart of the Absolute. Deal with it how? I hate to pull rank, but I was once Mistra's Chosen. Destroying magic like this was my bread and butter. Oh, or did you wish to use it? I assure you, it's pointless. You'll have nothing more than a sore head and a very dissatisfied wizard to show for it.
It doesn't take much. The sigils fade, the circle's tainted magic dissolving harmlessly into the ether.
Not how I would have done it.
You wish to consult me? A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? The wizard? No. Don't sulk. I admire your mastery of the weave, but I have known many wizards. In my experience, they do not usually live long enough to make the effort of befriending them worthwhile. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Present company excluded, of course. I'm sure you will live to a ripe old age. Gale, however, is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke. I will reserve my social graces for those who might live long enough to appreciate them.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mistra, wherever she may be.
Well, are you composing a poem in your head or some such?
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mistra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. You have more faith in her than even I did. Understandable, though. When you have not loved her as deeply, or known the depths of her affections. I exist, not to bestow favors on my followers, but to inspire them, to seize their destinies for themselves, exactly as I did. I'm their proof. Proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements will flourish. Proof that with ambition, anything is possible. You see? Now you're realizing your true potential. You and many more by the day. And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned? From you, I'd expect nothing less. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Well, I, for one, can't wait. And I say with some confidence, neither can they. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower.